Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses. Yeah, man. Let's get into a conversation that's might be long overdue. You know, I touched on it in other talks, but I figured it's time that we put a whole conversation just dedicated to this, you know? So this is something, for the guys, so women, kind of don't get offended, you know, as we get maybe a little graphic, you know. And if the conversation kind of seems one sided, right? But this is for the greater good. This is for us all. So women and pets, you women and pets have a weird relationship, right? People and pets have weird relationships, right? So the best way I would tell a man to look at his relationship with the woman is to look at it as like the woman is your pet. You understand the beauty of people with pets and how they act? See, the first thing about a pet is you don't buy it. You don't buy a pet if you can't afford to feed the pet. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of your responsibility. So again, this ain't for everybody. This is just for the men who are ready to be men, who are ready to be husbands and husbandry. You know? So you have to look at your woman like it's a pet. That's your love. That's your pet. People don't understand what you do for your pet and why you do what you do. But you got to think about how people love their pets. You walk your dog, you clean up behind it, you pick it up. Some people kiss their dogs in the mouth. They kiss their pets in the mouth. They have intimate relationships with their pet. You walk up the street, you see a person kissing a dog, you like, this nigga's crazy. But no, that's a person that has a relationship that he don't give a fuck about if you like it or not. And that's how you have to be with your woman, with the women that you choose, the women that you decide to pick to be yours. You got to make your relationship with the woman personal. Like it's your relationship. This is your pet. You're not letting your pet run away. You're not letting your pet hurt itself. It's not going to run into the street and get hit by a car. No, your pet is going to live on with you for hundreds of years and bring you happiness and joy. Right? Right. That's just the mentality that you have to have with it. You can't worry about what other people think about your pet, what you're doing with your pet. Like I mentioned, some people dress their pets up in clothes. They got clothes for their dogs and for their poodles and chihuahuas, and put them up in suits, and they dress them up in all types of um, human esque clothes. People like, damn, what the hell is going on with this nigga? Why is he dressing up his dog? The dog don't know he dressed up. The dog don't know he wearing a suit, but the owner does. Because what you do for your pet is what you're doing for you. You get the benefit. When you buy your dog a toy, you're not fucking playing with the toy. You get joy out of seeing your pet play with the toy. I mean, that's what this is. You have to have that type of understanding as a man, not a boy, not a little kid, as a man. As a man can look at your motherfucking parakeet in the cage. Look at your bird in the cage. That bird is here to entertain you. But you gotta feed that bird. You gotta water that bird. You gotta change the paper. And you gotta teach that dog, I mean that bird how to talk. It don't just come talking. You got to talk to that bird to make that bird talk. Develop its own personality, develop its own um, characteristics. But that's a personal thing. You have to have that mindset that I'm picking this pet. This is my pet. I don't care if someone sees me kiss my pet in the mouth. Look at me kiss my pet in the mouth. See this? That's how you are with your pet. You become, you know, oblivious to other people and other things. You know, you got to walk your dog in the rain. You got to walk your dog in the snow. You got to walk your dog in all elements. You can't abandon your responsibilities for your pet. And you want to see your and you want. I mean, you want your dogs to get out and get that walk. If that's going to make them happy, they want to play in the snow. Go ahead, let them play in the snow if that's going to make them happy. But you're not going to let them run into the street, and you're not going to let them run away. It's a personal thing. It's a personal understanding. You raising pit bulls. You know what I'm saying? You got them red nose, and you excited. You know what I mean? You bulking it up. You showing it off. You excited because this is your pet. You know what I mean? People don't have the same love for your pet as you do, and they shouldn't. It's yours. But you also have to have that same responsibility for your pet because you want to keep it happy, and you want to keep people telling you how nice of a pet you have. Yep. It's not as hard as they want to make it. It's a selfish thing. Because again, if you live in higher self, you live in higher self vibes, you only want the best for your pet. So you ain't putting nothing crazy in the mix. You know? And yeah, when you train your pet, right? Because your pet is training you. Your pet is training you to walk it. Your pet is training you to feed it, to keep the lights on. You see, it's that type of mutual benefit type of thing. Because you don't buy a pet until you can afford a pet. You know, now it's pet time, cool. Women, all right, different. They can bring stuff. They can add on, definitely. But that's still part of the proper training. Like training yourself for your higher self, and then keeping everybody on the same vibration. It's not training a woman and a goddess, right? It's just elevating the vibration. But your relationship with that woman, with that pet, is personal. You can't run away, and you can't hurt yourself. You get it? Yeah, I dress it up, put it in suits, take it out. But that's mine. It's flyer than yours. Yours is not as fly as mine. There's nothing I can do about that. This is my pet. And that's the extreme understanding that we gotta have when we dealing in relationships and intimacies. You know, people don't have sex with their pets necessarily. I mean, at all, right? But they still do the work. They still respond to their abilities. They get pleasure from other things. You know, and that's the thing. Like when you choose a pet, when you choose to be responsible for something or someone, you know, it's that responsibility. That's your covenant. That's your contract. That's your love right there. Your love is to fulfill that. Yeah. But the understanding is that is yours. People are going to laugh at you. People are going to look at you funny. But you're demonstrating how to treat a pet, how to raise a pet, and how to breed a family, right? How to carefully select a mate and how to carefully live with the family. That's the purpose. Don't get that purpose confused, you know? But you have to know who you are, you know? That you can afford to handle a pet, you can afford to feed a pet, you're going to be responsible enough to walk a pet, to clean up after the pet, to train a pet, you know? That's life. Like, you got to add direction to the shit, you know? And you got to be strong enough to fuck around and do it when it's snowing and shit, do it when it's raining and shit. Still be a man, still stand on your responsibilities, you know? But it's about the understanding. You know, you can't just get rid of your pet because your pet chewed up your sneakers because your pet had a tantrum while you were away or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or your pet did something to gain your attention. Like, you got to remember, this is about you. Like, you my pet for a reason. It's something that I'm doing wrong that's making you misbehave like this. How can I figure out how to keep my pet happy? You know, or happiness not being tearing up my shoes, right? Chewing up my couch. But that's what it is. It's a selfishness that's unselfish. You know, it's a it's a selfishness that allows you to release yourself, allows you to give yourself. You know, like when you just committed to the shit. Like, fuck it, this is my pet. You know, like Dick Gregory said one time, if some aliens was to come down from the motherfucking from the stars and and look at Earth, and they were to see the dogs on the leashes, right? The pets on a leash, and the people pulling behind them and following behind them and picking up their feces and feeding them, they would think that the pets is in control. They wouldn't think that the humans is in control because it looks like the human is just there to serve their pet. That's what Dick Gregory said, you know? And that's what being married is. That's what being in a relationship is. You know, it's the opportunity for you to serve your pet. Like, if somebody was to know, somebody was to look, it should be like, and I mean, everybody not at that level mentally yet, but that's a stage, and that's a way to perfect that stage and that level of oneness and sex. You know, because again, sex is equality. You know, like, so that's the way to look at it. Like, but they don't. But when you in love with your pet, like I said, the person that's walking the pet wouldn't think that an alien would think that the pet is in control. So it doesn't matter what someone else thinks, what the internet thinks, what the blogosphere thinks about who looks like they in control. You know, like, and like, oh, she playing him, oh, she using him. That's not really, if you don't feel played, you know what I'm saying. If I don't feel like this is my pet, like, if the pet not biting me, like, I hope it don't bite anyone else. But shit, it, it like to bark. But when I say chill, stop barking, it be chilling, stop barking. You know what I mean? You got to, find a pet that's right for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get a dog if you're not gonna walk it in the rain. If you ain't gonna walk it in the snow. Get a bird. Get something that's not gonna leave the house that you ain't gotta take out and show out. You can just sit in the house, talk to. But the point of it is going to be the same. The point of it is going to be the same. You have to know what you want from it. You know? So don't be afraid to look weird because you love your pet. Just understand that it's yours. It's no one else's. It's yours. It's yours to love, it's yours to hold, it's yours to keep, you know? And be ready to respond to your abilities. Be ready to walk it, to clean up behind it, to kiss it in the mouth. You know, it's not for other people's gratification. This is a thing. If you chose this person, make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you it's working. Like, y'all here, everything working here. This is my pet. You know. Peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses. As always, I hope this helps. Appreciate you guys for being gods. See y'all later.